Hallelujah.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. So we want to get started soon, or now. If you have a question and you prefer to write your question down on a piece of paper, that's one way we can ask questions for the doctor. Or if you're comfortable just raising your hand and asking your questions, we can do that as well. So you can go ahead and begin to write your questions down, or if you have any questions now, you can raise your hand and we'll bring you a microphone.
Well, good evening. It's cold, and I'm sure that people will miss this. Health is a very important subject in our lives. Without health, you can do nothing. That means you need to be healthy to be able to live a life, to enjoy yourself. And the thing is that many of us don't know about how to live a life because there are so many things we don't know. Even me standing here, I don't know a lot of things, so many things, even though I know so much. But we need to learn daily. I learn every day. I read a lot of articles, a lot of materials on health, on food, on the medicine that the doctors prescribe, which is chemical. So we need to learn, and we can learn from each other too. So imagine the COVID that has really brought us down to our knees. It is so sad that right here in PG, it has the highest cases. 32,000 people are affected with COVID in PG alone, and almost close to 900 deaths. But when you look statewide, PG is the highest. And the question you will ask is why? It's because we are lacking certain things that we need to know for ourselves. And we need to protect ourselves. You know, when you are living in a house, you want to live in a house that is solid, that you are living there, you are staying comfortably when the winter or tornado comes, that you are sure that you have a house that can protect you. So the same thing with your own body. You want to have your body prepared to protect against disease. And that means you have to know what to eat, how to live, and so on and so forth. So for COVID, what are some of the things that you need to know about it? We know that it's a viral infection. And there are thousands and thousands of viruses. The viruses also mutate, and so they change. Even the vaccine that they're talking about, it may not even be effective because there are so many vaccines that have been developed, like flu, for example, the flu virus. Every year they have a new one. Why? Because there's mutation. And so for the flu, for the COVID, I think that this is now the flu season. So because the flu virus is a different virus, even though it's still related to the COVID, we need to take the flu vaccine. I just took mine last week. You should not be afraid of vaccine because people tell us that vaccine cause autism, it cause all kinds of. It may, I don't know about that. But the problem, the issue is that even if it has any adverse effect in one or two people, at least millions and millions of people are protected from the vaccine. So it's a good thing to get the vaccine, okay? So I would encourage anybody to get the flu vaccine for this season, okay? That will at least protect you from the flu vaccine, from the flu virus. And if the COVID virus affects you, it should not cripple you completely because that means you are going to be affected by two Wymies. So it will be a good thing for you to take that vaccine because I had to take it, okay? And especially the elderly people, they need to take it. Even the pneumonia vaccine is also very important, okay? So that is something about the COVID. In terms of the COVID in protection, you need to be taking some vitamins. The vitamins are very important, okay? So the vitamin D3 is very important, and not just any dose, because sometimes you go to the store and just buy any synthetic vitamin D3 or D is written on the bottle, but how much of it, what is the concentration? It has to be from a reputable company that it is a natural source, because the synthetic would not absorb. Anything that you take, it has to be, because in terms of efficacy of any medication, it means it has to have an uptake, it has to be absorbed, it has to be distributed, then it also has to be excreted. If that is not done, then that is worthless. So vitamin D3 is very important. It's also a hormone as well as an enzyme, okay? So it's not just another vitamin. And so you should be taking a dose up to 5,000 international units, which is equivalent to 125 micrograms. That is the dose that you should be taking. And you can take it, because I would say to you that about 70 to 80% of us here in America, we are lacking vitamin D3. And actually, almost 80% of the people here lack magnesium. Okay, so those are two minerals that we lack. And then the other thing would be to take zinc. The zinc should be the perchlorinated zinc. That's 50 milligrams. You should take that once a day. And then you should also take vitamin E. Then the next thing will be vitamin C. These are antioxidants. Vitamin E, vitamin C, these are antioxidants. And the vitamin C, you should take large doses of vitamin C, especially now that the cold season is coming. Why? Because vitamin C is an antioxidant. And so if you take just the ordinary vitamin C, because in the store you just go and ask, like you have a multivitamin, they have vitamin C on there, but the dose is very low. That is only for people who already have their immune system is functioning normally, and that is just for maintenance. But in terms of protection, you need to take a higher dose. I am not sick, but I take 5 grams. I take 5 grams of vitamin C in the morning. In the evening, I also take 5 grams. So that's a large dose. Vitamin C does not have any kind of toxicity. It can only, if you take any large dose and if it has any side effects, you can get something like diarrhea. That's all that it will do. But you will start having diarrhea, then you can stop taking it, okay? So vitamin C is very important. It can also detox you. The next thing will be to have multivitamins, okay? The multivitamins that will have some minerals, the essential minerals in it. But then the over-the-counter multivitamins, they are mostly synthetic. People are selling those in the thousands just to make money. So you go and buy those, it's just going to be, you're just wasting money. So my encouragement for you would be to find somebody who knows about the good multivitamins. You can either go to the Whole Food store or any store that actually sells good vitamins. But the thing is, the multivitamins that they sell is also just for maintenance. It's not necessarily for protection. Because if we are lacking those essential minerals in us, then those doses that are on the multivitamins, it's not going to be enough to bring up to threshold. So you need to take a higher dose, okay? So that's the thing that you need to be taking to protect yourself for this COVID. The other thing which we should also be taking is omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids is to protect us from the cell membrane. Okay, the cell membrane is like the coat, like the house, the layer that allows things to get in and out of the cell. So it has to have a good protection. But if you are not taking that, the oil that we eat, like most of the oil that we're cooking with, is packed with trans fat. Trans fat, it has a lot of holes in it, so that it allows a lot of the vitamins that you're taking, as well as the minerals, to go in and out. For example, just something like sodium and potassium. The potassium is supposed to be inside the cell, and the sodium is supposed to be outside. So when you have the trans fat having as a cell membrane layer, you have more sodium going into the cell, and then more potassium coming out. So that is an imbalance, and that throws you off, and it makes your body so acidic. See, that is the problem. Okay, so that's why having something like this omega-3 fatty acids is very important. It's also anti-inflammatory. The other thing is the other thing that you could be taking is something called quercetin. It is one of those elements that you can get from apple, okay? From apple. Quercetin, is very important for anti-inflammatory things, as well as it will help you with the COVID. Then the other thing would be probiotics. Probiotics is very important for you, for your gut, because we eat all these kinds of fast food, and the foods that we're eating, contains a lot of acidity. So it actually now depletes your gut flora. That means the bacteria that lives in your intestine. So that if the good bacteria are depleted, then you have bad bacteria there now, then your food is not being absorbed. That's why you're having all these problems. So having a probiotics from a good food store will replenish that. Okay, so probiotics is very important, and it also help with the absorption of the food, also including the multivitamin that you are taking. Okay, so that will absorb better. If you don't have that, even taking all these vitamins, it will be nothing. You will not get anything out of it. So that's why the probiotics will be very helpful to you. Okay? The other thing would be to, like this oil, like eucalyptus oil, the oil like garlic and other lemons oil, you can put that in hot water to inhale it. Okay, you can like a steam to inhale it, so that will also help you open up your lungs. Okay, that's for the COVID now. I'm just talking about the COVID. I'm not sure how many minutes I have to talk about it, but okay. So the other thing would be eat garlic, onions, ginger. Those things that will help with inflammation. And some of these things are antibiotics. You see, natural antibiotics. Okay, ginger in particular is antibiotics. The onions as well. You know, I didn't know much. As I said, I didn't. Not everybody knows a lot. You know, this papai, we call it pawpaw, right? The pawpaw leaf is very healthy, very healthy. So you can, like, they don't have it here, but let's say, since we are from Africa, we can always tell our people back there that they should cut like 3 or 4 pawpaw leaves and then boil it and drink it like tea. You drink it like 3 times a day, that will also help you. And also eat the pawpaw itself, okay? Because these fruits are more alkaline, and that will help to balance your pH system in the body. Even the bitter leaves that we eat. Bitter leaf is also very healthy. As a matter of fact, they actually put it now in capsules here. And they are using it. I mean, they claim it's huge. I have no idea about the specific claim they have in terms of the research. But what I know is that the bitter leaf is very helpful. We eat it for our soup, right? I like bitter leaf soup. It's very good. Some people don't like it because it's bitter, but I like the bitter taste. And so bitter leaf is a very good source of protection because, like I said, I think I said it last time in my presentation that my brother, whom I follow directly, he complained of prostate problem that he has. So I told him to eat bitter leaves. Now I asked him to wash the bitter leaf itself, and drink the water. It's bitter, but that is raw, and he should eat the bitter leaf also raw. Yes, and nothing good, even though it's bitter. Yes, that will help him. And so I told him that if he does that for about 3 to 4 months, he will be feeling better, and he has no problem right now. I asked him to drink the bitter leaf water, eat the bitter leaf itself, and drink hot lemon water in the morning, and the pawpaw and all those things, and also vegetables. That's what I told him to do, and he did that religiously, and by now he is completely free. The other thing would be pineapples. You know, we have a lot of pineapples. I'm telling you all these things because these fruits, they have the enzymes that will act in your body. They are called proteolytic enzymes, okay? Okay, so they have the enzymes like bromelain, and also papain. So those are the enzymes that they have in there. So pineapples is very good as well. So if you eat the pineapples, you peel the pineapple and boil the cover. After the peel, you boil it and then drink it. You see that if you boil it and drink it about 3 times a day, that will also protect you. So these are local things that you can do at home that you don't necessarily have to go and see the doctor. The doctors will not tell you this thing because it's not approved by the FDA. You know, no FDA approves your food. So you make the choices yourself, right? So these are simple things that you can do. Then, of course, eating apples. Apples, you should eat apples. There's always been a slogan that apple a day keeps the doctor away. So the apples has the component called quercetin. And quercetin, if you take quercetin up to 500 milligrams a day, it will help you against many different diseases, including cancer, okay? Then the other thing would be to avoid a lot of the fast food, especially here in where we are in PG. I'm still talking about COVID, what to protect us. That we should avoid eating fast food, all this fried food like French fries and all the hamburgers and all that. But anyway, I'm not against you eating it. It's up to you. But I've made the choice that those things are not healthy. I don't allow my children or my grandchildren to eat them. They may be hating, they eat it, but if they see me coming, they're not going to eat it. Because I've told them that it's not healthy. They should be eating healthy food. Then the other thing which is also damaging is soft drinks. The soft drinks like Coke, most of the soft drinks are high in sugar. So that's why your immune system is completely suppressed. With all these soft drinks and the fast food, it does not protect you from the COVID because your immune system is suppressed. Why we are so touched with the COVID is because our immune system is very weak, especially with all this fast food and lacking vitamin D3, lacking magnesium, lacking all these other things, even zinc. These are the things that are really killing us, and we don't know this. So I'm here to help to educate us that we should know these things because that will help us. And so that is just one component, or that's one component of protecting us from the COVID. Then, of course, the next thing will be to drink alkaline water. See, the thing is that the bottled water has a lot of acidity in it. There is also a chemical called BPA, and that's just a abbreviation. It's called bisphenol A, which actually leaks into the water. And these things cause a lot of acidity in us. So it also causes cancer. And so that's why to drink the water from the bottle, of course, there's not that we should be aware of these things. We should be aware of the bottled water. The best thing is to drink water from in a glass bottle. Okay, so if there's a way you can drink water from a glass bottle, that would be the best way. Okay, I've been drinking it from the plastic bottles myself, but I didn't know until now I've understood that I do not drink water from there anymore.
Dr. Yunmbam, I'm going to make you take a pause right there. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to tell you, please have your seat.
Oh.
You can take a seat.
Okay.
We want you to be comfortable as you answer these questions. Good evening again. If you're just joining us, if you have any questions for Dr. Yunmbam, please write them down, and our pastors will bring them here. So we're going to ask some questions, and then you can continue. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So the first question, when I take the flu vaccine, I get seriously sick. So should I continue to take the flu vaccine?
I would say that no, because if you get seriously sick, now, are you sick because you are reacting to the vaccine, or what is the cause of the sickness? Because that's a question that has to be answered. Yes, some people get reaction to the vaccine, but if you have a reaction to it, then it will not be wise for you to take it. You need to talk with your doctor because he will know whether the strain is a different strain, or they may change it, or you may give another vaccine that is better. But if you are reacting to it, then of course you shouldn't take it. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Question number 2, can I take flaxseed capsules for hot flashes?
Can you take vaccine what?
Flaxseed capsule for hot flashes.
Flaxseed capsules?
The capsules.
I don't have any idea that flaxseed capsules can be useful for hot flashes. I think that hot flashes, that is a hormonal imbalance, so that means you have to find out what is the cause of that. In flaxseed, because flaxseed capsules contains interleukin 6, omega fatty acid 6 and 9. So that's not a very healthy this thing. So you have to have a balance. When you are taking the flaxseed oil, capsules, you should also take the omega-3 fatty acid fish oil. It will be able to balance out because the flaxseed has but omega-3, omega-6 and omega-9. So it does not have the 3. Even if it does, it's not in a higher dose. There has to be a ratio, okay? So there must be a balance between, because the flaxseed is okay to take, but in combination with fish oil, okay? Not by itself. It may help with it, but it has to be in combination with the fish oil and not just the flaxseed by itself, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. We have another question. I would like to know, what is the AIC in diabetic, in diabetes?
The AIC?
AIC.
The,
AYC.
oh, hemoglobin A1C?
Or 1C.
That must be hemoglobin A1C, is that right? Okay. Hemoglobin A1C is the sugar that is covalently bind to protein. So that is the actual measure of your blood glucose level. So that's the accurate measure, okay? So I said in terms of when you eat a lot of the cooked food at high temperatures, what you get is called advanced glycation end products. And the advanced glycation end products end up having the hemoglobin A1C raised. So that's the problem, okay? So that's why cooking food at high temperature is not very healthy, especially meat. And even some of the vegetables, cooking it at very high temperature is not very healthy because of that age group, and also causing mutation of your DNA.
Okay.
Does that answer the question? Did that answer the question? Hemoglobin A1C from diabetics?
She said yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you all. If you have a follow-up question, feel free to write it down, or if you want to ask your question, we'll bring a microphone to you. I do have one question, Dr. Yunmbam. You talk a lot about alkaline water,
yes.
But the reality is alkaline water is much more expensive than the regular Deer Park and other brands. So what would you recommend that we do? Do we just spend our money anyway and get the alkaline water, or is there something? Somebody told me at work that she buys regular water, a case, and then she uses a magnet. She places a magnet on it, and it removes, I don't know, whatever you can.
What the magnet is he talking about? I'm not sure about that. But I know that alkaline water is expensive, but it's better than the ordinary water. The issue is that because of the type of food we eat, our body becomes too acidic. So we need a balance. Our pH, our blood pH is 7.35 to 7.45. So if you are just only drinking the regular water, it keeps adding to the acidity. But then when you drink the alkaline water, which is at least 8.8 or up to 9.5 pH, it will neutralize the acidity in your body. Even though it may not completely your body is not necessarily going to be alkaline. But the thing is that it will set out a balance to a level where the acidity is reduced so that you don't have all these chronic diseases afflicting you. So in terms of the alkaline water, the cheapest way would be to buy like a filter, and then the filter that may have the filter that can actually filter alkaline water, okay? So that is what you can do. The other thing would be to, there are other, I'm not sure about this, but see, they have certain liquids. You can go to the food, to the whole food. They probably have liquids that you can actually add to the water, which may increase it. But what it is just the minerals like potassium and magnesium that they put in that liquid to increase, to make it alkaline. So you can do that. Or the other thing could be you can have sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is simply baking soda because that can become alkaline. The other thing about getting alkaline food like avocado. Avocado has a high pH. So if you eat avocado, broccoli, cabbage, all of those are good alkaline food. Okay? So if you eat those, that will be, actually it will balance out. Your body will not be too acidic. The problem that our body is too acidic is because we are eating a lot of acidic foods. Okay? All those fried foods, the meat, especially meat, cause a lot of acidity. And that's why we have a lot of arthritis. And drinking all the soft drinks, that's what causes them. So if you have baking soda, you can take half a teaspoon of baking soda. Arm Hammer's baking soda is good. You can have a teaspoon and put it in a glass and pour water over it. Let it stand for about 3 seconds. And then you stir it, and then you add water to it. Then you stir it and drink it. Then after that, you also drink a full glass of water following it. That will help you. At least it will neutralize some of the stomach acid. Okay? So getting a filter that filters alkaline water is one thing. Another thing would be that use the baking soda. That will also help. But I would also warn you that using that is not very healthy either because it has sodium. So you don't want to be drinking it on a regular basis. Okay? You just drink that once in a while. But to have a regular this thing, you eat more of the avocado, you eat more of the broccoli, you eat more of the vegetables. The cruciferous vegetables are good in alkaline. So those are the kinds of things that you should be eating. And don't drink the soft drinks, a lot of the meat will cause more acidity.
Okay.
The other thing is to,
more. Yeah,
also to have adequate sleep. Now, we don't spend time sleeping the minimum number of hours we should sleep would be 7 to 8 hours. That's how many hours we will be sleeping. But we don't spend time doing that. Sleep will also help to heal the body. So it's important for us to sleep and to rest. Okay, we are working too many hours and not spending time sleeping. Okay, you have another question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Many more questions. Thank you for that. All right, next question is, what causes fibroid?
Well, a lot of all the foods that we eat, fibroid thrives more in acidic conditions, okay? Because it is an imbalance of the hormones, okay? So that eating a lot of the meats, eating the acidic foods, first of all, fibroid is just an inflammation of the endometrium, okay? It's an inflammation. So that it causes all those swellings. But if we are eating all these foods, and like the probiotics, like eating the right kinds of food, drinking the alkaline water, and having adequate sleep, will reduce inflammation. Many of the chronic diseases are caused by inflammatory agents. Okay, so that's why fibroid is one of them, diabetes, cancer, arthritis, Alzheimer's disease, and any of the chronic problems. Even aging is caused by this. Okay? There are specific enzymes called tumor necrosis factor that is actually causing all these things, prostaglandin, all of these things, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and all of those are the things that cause all these problems. Yes. Okay, does that answer your question?
I believe so. If you still have a question or you want to follow up on your question, please feel free and write your question out. But we'll move on. This is 4 questions in one.
Okay.
Okay. So it says, can you recommend dosage of iron and vitamin D for men over 40 for heart protection? And then the follow-up is, which is better, liquid or tablet? Which vitamin D? D3? Question mark. Does exercising outside resolve need for vitamin D supplements?
Well, yes. To answer the last question, exercising outside is the best because that is a natural vitamin D that you're getting from the sun. In fact, you can spend about 7 to 10 minutes outside in the sun, you get adequate vitamin D3 or the adequate vitamin D. Like you go to the doctor, they're going to write you a prescription of vitamin D2. That is a synthetic vitamin D. This is not the natural one. So exercising outside on a daily basis helps to, you get the adequate natural vitamin D that will help to balance out your hormones and so on. So another thing would be that, see, like you talked about the fibroid. It could be also lack of vitamin D3. It's a lot of different things that can cause the fibroids. Even magnesium and so on. There is a lot of deficiencies that happens in us that cause these problems. Okay, so it's out of it's always a deficiency or a poisoning of the cells. Okay.
Which is better, liquid or tablet?
I would say liquid may be better because tablets, it has to dissolve, and sometimes the tablets, it may have a carrier which may not be absorbed properly. So I would say that liquid would be better.
Okay. And they said, which vitamin D? Is D3 an option for them?
It's D3.
Yeah.
Vitamin D3, yes.
So D3 is the better?
Yes.
Okay.
D3 is better.
I believe that answers all the questions. Or what dosage of iron and vitamin D for a man over 40 for heart protection?
The iron, the vitamin D, like I said, vitamin D3, the dose should be, the regular dose is 1,000 international units. That is for somebody who has already attained the normal unit, the normal level. But if you are lacking vitamin D3, you should be taking at least 5,000 international units. I take 5,000 international units sometimes 2 times a day. Yes. You can take up to 20,000. And they sometimes give it as an injection. But I'm saying that taking up to 5,000 units daily is good for you. That will raise it up because your level is very low. Sometimes the doctor will write vitamin D3 or vitamin D to 50,000 units for us an injection once a week. That's not going to do it. Yes, because it's synthetic. It's not natural. So the D3 is better than the D2. Gotcha. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. That was helpful.
And in terms of the iron, the tablets, they tell you is 325 milligrams. But you see, they write that high dose. Not all of it is absorbed. Not all of it is absorbed. So the liquid may absorb better than the tablets. So, but you can get iron from a lot of the plants that we eat. Another thing is iodine. We don't know that iodine is one of the most important minerals that we need, especially for our thyroid. So some of the multivitamins, you have to make sure that there's there's iodine in it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Because I feel like African Americans, they often say that our vitamin D levels are low. So this is something we'll definitely look into.
I would say that almost anybody in this sanctuary may be having vitamin D3 levels. Their vitamin D3 level is low, including magnesium. Okay, so we need to be outside exercising. Okay, exercising. Make sure that when the sun shines, go out and stay in there for at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or walk, do some exercise. We are too sedentary, and that's not healthy for us. We need to be doing some exercise because lack of these vitamins too can make you gain weight. And let me also say that so many people are so stressed. You know, one of the reasons that people have a lot of stress is because of lacking the B complex. The B complex is very important, especially B3, B6, and B12. Those are very important B vitamins and B6, the folate. In fact, they are actually producing it as medical food so that is being prescribed so that the B complex is a very important vitamin. Okay? When I say B complex, don't go out there in the store and just look for B complex because it's all of what you buy there is synthetic. Okay, so make sure that you look for somebody who knows that it is natural. Okay, get it from the natural producers. Okay, because many of the vitamins companies are just producing synthetic stuff to sell to make their money, and that's it. They're not actually helping you to be well or to get well or to stay healthy.
All right. Thank you, sir. So we have quite a few questions. If you're watching online, feel free to write your questions in the chat, and we will ask the questions here. So the next question is, what can one take for inflation in a situation where blood tests or MRI can't find anything, especially when one is diabetic?
What is the thing that is...
What can they take for inflation? When
Inflammation?
Inflammation? Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In a situation where the blood test and the MRI can't find anything.
Well, inflammation is caused by whatever food you're eating, or it could be caused by an infection. So many of the antioxidants, for example, like what I just said, like garlic, ginger, even the lemon, like the flavonoids, those are things that is anti-inflammatory. Okay, so even sleep, when you sleep well, then some of those things can go down. But if you want to take something for it, to take the natural stuff. Okay, all these other, like the quercetin that I talked about, even eating apples, even the bitter leaves, the pineapples, the pawpaw, those they have anti-inflammatory agents in them. Okay, so those are things that you can actually have. I have a list of some of the vegetables that one can eat. Like I put here, I said the blueberries, the beets, roots, even black broccoli, Brussels sprouts, the burdock roots. Have you heard of burdock roots? That's burdock. It's BURDOCK roots. Those are things that you can have for anti-inflammatory things. Things like gloves. Gloves are anti-inflammatory. Okay. Even dandelion leaves, dandelion root extracts. You have broccoli, even the bitter leaves, even avocado, asparagus, some of the nuts, Okay, so they are also anti-inflammatory. But the thing is that you have to check with your doctor to be sure if you have diabetes, whether they have any kind of interaction or not. So you shouldn't just take there are some mushrooms that can have anti-inflammatory properties. Kale, especially the green vegetables, those are, they have a lot of inflammatory properties, okay?
Thank you, sir. Next question. What advice can you give someone with a high cholesterol so that they can stop using the pill? So advice for someone with cholesterol issues so that they can stop using, I guess, medicine for cholesterol.
Well, the cholesterol and all of these other chronic problems come from the food that we eat. So if you stop eating those fried foods and the food that like the meat cooked at very high temperatures, it will reduce the cholesterol levels. Okay, for example, also eating sugar. Sugar is the worst food, the worst agent. There are 4 categories of food you should never eat. Excuse me. Sugar is number 1. You should never ever eat sugar. Sugar is the most addictive agent, more addictive than cocaine, than even heroin and other drugs combined. Well, in large quantities, because people eat a lot of sugar. And the thing is that we eat a lot of food that contains sugar. A lot of food contains sugar. And so when you are aware that sugar, I'm not saying that you should not eat sugar. You should eat natural sugar. The processed sugar, that's what is causing the damage. Because you can get sugar from apple, from pears, from all this sugar is in there. Even the pawpaw and the pineapples, they have sugar in there. But they are natural. They are digestible, okay? So those other processed ones are synthetic, and they are processed. And they are full of chemicals and toxicity. So that's why they are not very healthy. The second food you should not eat would be white flour that are processed. See, the white flour is contained in all the baked goods, the cookies, the cakes, and even some of the candies that you have. So that's food number 2. And all of these chronic problems come from there. See, people are talking about the fibroid. That can cause the fibroids, can cause the cancer, can cause the arthritis, can cause the high cholesterol from eating these things, including milk. Dairy products. Dairy product is not healthy. They will tell you that it's fortified with vitamin D, but that's not true. It's synthetic. The vitamin D will not absorb. When you drink it, it will not be absorbed. Okay, because we don't have the enzyme to digest the milk. So milk is, people use it to eat cereal in the morning, but it's not the best food. You can have other food for breakfast. I know children are used to it, and that's easier for them, but I'm telling you that the milk is making the kids become very hyperactive. Imagine that sugar can make you, make all these other students that are very active, especially in school. Those are students who are troublesome. They are fighting in school. They are very hyperactive. It's because of the sugar. The sugar makes them hyperactive, and it's because it's also depleting the bad bacteria in their stomach, and there is no communication between the stomach and this. Because the thing is that the cholesterol and all of these things actually block neural transmission from the brain to the stomach. So that's why I recommended that you should take probiotics so that your gut flora should be replaced with the good bacteria, so that then you will have good communication. Now, because it can also block your thinking. Your mood is also the way you feel can be blocked by all of this. Okay? So sugar is not good at all. The milk is actually causing a lot of problems. And the fourth and the last food would be the oil that we use in cooking. Okay? So you asked me about all these other, the fibroids, for example. It's because of the oil that we use, the type of oil that we use in cooking. Okay? So it's causing all these inflammatory agents. It's activating them to cause inflammation. Inflammation in the womb, inflammation in your brain, inflammation everywhere, or in your joints. Okay, so we were going to show a video to show that, especially in somebody with arthritis. Now, the question is, why is it that these young people are eating these things and they are not getting the arthritis and so on? The reason is that the young people are eating these things because they have proteolytic enzymes that can break down these things. But in older people, the proteolytic enzymes are no longer there. Okay? Proteolytic enzymes like the bromelain, papain, all of these things, they are no longer there to break down these proteins. That's why older people have arthritis. The people with the fibroid, the people with Alzheimer's, that's what is causing it. But if you eat the pineapples, why did I say you should be eating pineapples? Because the pineapples have the enzymes to break down these things, okay? So if you are eating French fries or eating these things and then you eat the pineapples and do exercise too, those things will help. And then you also eat the vegetables, it will also help. I'm not saying don't eat French fries at all, but to me, French fries is fried in hot oil, and that oil is carcinogenic because it's called acrolein. Acrolein, when you fry something and then you sneeze, it's because the oil is emitting that acrolein, and that's why you sneeze because of that. So the acrolein is getting into the French fries, and then when you eat it, they will tell you that, oh, it's not going to hurt you, but over time, it's going to hurt you. That's the problem. Okay?
Thank you very much. We all feel convicted now. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Next question, sir. What is the effect of birth control? Is it good or bad for women to take birth control?
Well, I would say that it's only good for prevention of pregnancy, but birth control in itself, I would say that it's not very healthy for a woman to take birth control, because over time it causes. It's a chemical that gets into you. So I would say that birth control is strictly for prevention of pregnancy. But you can do abstinence or whatever control you can do. But for taking it for prevention is not the best, I would say. There are some people who can disagree with me, but my preference is that it's a chemical. You don't want to put chemicals into your body. Okay? I will not put chemicals into your body. I'm sorry?
Yes, that's why they use it, to prevent pregnancies. So is there somebody in the audience, for people watching online, that's saying if they're not using birth control, that means they'll be having children every year? And so, Dr. Yunmbam, the people would like to know what else could be done other than...
Instead of the pill, there are also Iuds and other things that you can use, okay? Because the Iuds is better than the chemicals, okay? It can also make you gain weight. It can make you do stuff, so, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I prefer it. It's a different, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for clarifying. All right, moving on. Next question. How can I boost my white blood cells? If someone is diabetic, what can such a person do?
To boost your white blood cells?
Yes.
If somebody is diabetic?
Yes.
Well, the thing is that the diabetes is an inflammatory disease. So that's why it's actually inhibiting your immune system. And to get rid of it will be to use the antioxidants that will reduce inflammation, that will reduce the diabetes. So to increase it, you have to go to the cause of the problem. Now, the other thing I will tell you is that we only have one disease. You can talk about diabetes or cancer or Alzheimer's or whatever. It is only one cause. And the one cause is this malfunction of the cells. The cell is malfunction. Because we are made up of 75 trillion cells. Okay, so if you take one cell and the one cell is just like the engine of a car. So if something goes wrong in the engine, you want to find out what is wrong. So malfunction of cells means that something is wrong in the cell. And so you want to find out the cause of it so that you can fix it. So in terms of the human cell, the malfunction cell is either that there's a deficiency. The deficiency, like I talked about, vitamin D3, the magnesium, or some other minerals or element that is lacking in the cell. That's one. Once you replace that, the cell will function normally. Now, the second thing that malfunctions the cell is toxicity. Something has poisoned it, okay? So the poison now blocks the cell from functioning. Just like if you don't flush your engine, like the air filter or whatever, your car becomes dirty. So if you now fix your car and flush out everything, the car will function normally, right? But it's the same thing with the cell. So either, let me say the toxicity is like the air filter that is dirty, or any other thing, the water, all the lubricant in the engine has to be lubricated. Otherwise, the engine is not going to function properly. So that's why you have to remove the toxin. Then the cell will function normally. Then the thing is that the deficiency is because of what we eat. See, food is medicine, okay? Because all the ingredients, all the enzymes, we get the enzymes from the food. And if we're not putting in the right kinds of food, we're getting the wrong enzymes, we're getting the wrong proportion. Another thing is to eat multiple types of food. We're not going to be eating only one type of food. We depend on one food. Let's say, for example, for those of us from Africa, we eat either cocoa or plantains and fufu and so on. We're supposed to eat a variety. Here, the recommendation is that we should be eating about 25 to 50 different vegetables or type of food on a weekly basis. A variety, like a rainbow, okay? So that will balance out. So because you'll be eating some high-level energy food that has alkaline, that has like the avocado, like the apples, all of these things, we don't eat them, but we're depending on just eating yams, fufu daily, and the meat. That's not enough, and that's why our immune system is weak. So we need to be eating more vegetables in a variety, not just one type, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. So lots of questions. I hope you're not getting tired.
No, that's fine.
Thank you, sir. All right, so this question says, my mom's breasts still feel hard after her chemotherapy and radiation. Is it normal, and how long can that last?
What
and
is
then
this?
I have a few more questions to follow up.
What
the
is
person says their mother's breasts still feel hard after her chemotherapy and radiation.
You said breast?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it normal, and how long can that last?
Yes, the thing is that that is having from breast cancer, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, so if it's still hard, because cancer is also an inflammation, okay? Because what happens is that the breast cells are inflamed and it is hard. So after chemo, they have not resected the tumor out of the breast. So it's going to be hard. So it will be there. But the thing is that if they have killed the cancer with the radiation, then maybe after some time, and if they embark on eating vegetables and fruits, of course, organic vegetables and fruits, because the vegetables here are full of toxicity, of chemicals. So if they embark on eating vegetables and fruits that are organic and drinking alkaline water, over time, that solid part, the hard part should dissolve. Because now your immune system is strengthened, and the immune system will, you see there are certain cell types in the body that is called macrophages, and other, macrophages would actually, macrophages like the scavengers that will actually mop up dead cells. So over time, that will happen, okay?
Okay, so that same person is diabetic, and they would like to know what kind of food is best other than salad. Also, is plantain fufu good for a diabetic patient?
Plantain fufu, I'm not sure how they process it, but plantain fufu will not be the best either. But my recommendation would be to embark on vegetables, fruits that are organic, because the diabetes is caused by the inflammation or is caused by acidity. So if you are drinking, if you are eating a lot of food that is alkaline, like the avocado, the broccoli, the cabbage, all these are fresh vegetables and fruits. You embark on that and drinking a lot of water. You should be drinking no less than 2 to 3 to 4 liters of water every day of alkaline. That will also detox you because you are actually detoxing yourself. Okay, so a lot of toxicity are generated from within, because the food we eat metabolizes, and so it generates dirt and waste. So that is also toxicity. Then the toxicity that we have too is from what we breathe as well as what we put in. So getting rid of all the toxicity will help with the diabetic condition, would actually balance out. Okay, so and again, as I said, diabetes is more of inflammation. All the chronic diseases that we talk about is all caused by inflammation. And I said that the inflammatory agent is called tumor necrosis factor, and also interleukin 1, 6, and so on and so forth, prostaglandin. So it then causes also insulin insensitivity. So it will impede the insulin, especially somebody who's taking that, the insulin will become resistant. Okay, so the inflammation will increase because of that, because your immune system is impaired. And that's what is the problem here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Would you recommend quinoa? Organic quinoa?
Quinoa, what is quinoa?
Yeah. I know it's more healthy than rice. It's Quinoa.
What, is right? Is a carbohydrate food?
Is it a carb? No, it's not a carb.
Where does it come from?
It is a carb. Okay. I don't know, sir. I was just trying to see if.
Well, if it is, thank you. If it is natural, yes, of course, and it is also high fiber, it's good, because high fiber diet will really help to reduce some of the inflammation as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right. The person also says, what kind of advice do you also have for this person's health? Just in general, any other general advice you would give to this person and their health?
The person with the
So they're
diabetes?
referring to their mother. Like, what other advice would you give the mother?
Well, the advice will be that she should completely change her diet. The diet is very important, okay? She should embark on eating more vegetables and fruits, and stop eating sugar, stop eating any kind of processed flour. Stop eating meat, that is especially meat cooked at high temperatures. Eat more of fish, and don't milk or dairy products should be reduced or should not be part of the diet at all. But I would say that the other thing which I left out is that fasting is a very important thing too, okay? Those people, for example, you're having all these problems. To reduce the acidity and inflammation is to do fasting, okay? If you fast for, let me say, 7 days, and when I say fasting, that means no food at all, but just water, okay? For example, this alkaline water, this is only 500 cc's. I would encourage you to drink about 6 to 8 of this daily when you are fasting. So you are fasting, that is your main thing to be drinking throughout. And when you do that, it is going to be that the food you've been taking in, first of all, you should have also changed, you would have made a decision that you want to change your diet completely. So that's why you want to fast, so that when at the end of the fast, you want to start eating the right kinds of food. So when you fast for 7 days, my recommendation would be 7 days or more. If you can fast even up to 21 days, that's fine. But if you can fast for 7 days, because I did it, okay? I'm not saying something that I didn't do. I did mine for 8 days. So I was drinking about 4 of these daily. And at the end of the 8 days, I embarked on just eating vegetables. I mean, fresh vegetables. The reason for that is that when you have, the question is, why do we eat in the first place? We eat to get energy, okay? So when you are eating, you are getting the energy from that food. The issue is that when we eat a little bit too much, so the food is stored as fat in our bodies. So when you stop eating, then at the end of, in about 3 days, the body will now say, oh, I have stored some food somewhere, so let me go and get it. Just like your when you banking account, you have checking and savings. So when you use the money from their checking, you're going to go, your checking is depleted, you're going to go into savings. So the body is going to go to the fat to burn the fat for energy. So it will burn the fat, and when it's doing that, you're also losing the weight. Then at the end, that's why I encourage you to fast for about 7 days or more, so that if, for example, if you have belly fat or any fat in any part of your body, the body should be able to burn all of it, okay? You should be able to burn all of it. And then at the end, you should eat the vegetables like the cabbage, the avocado, the pineapples, and all of these things. You are not going to be eating French fries, fried foods anymore. You have thrown that away, because that is like you have an old car, you want to repair it, and then you remove all those old parts, and you want to throw it away. Then at the end, you have fixed the car, you want to bring back those old parts and put them back in there. It's not going to work. So that's why you need to embark on eating fresh vegetables throughout, or change your diet completely. You can eat some meat, yes, but not as much. You should not be eating, the soyas and the baked meat, broiled meat at high temperatures. You should embark on eating just food. Just boil your meat. Don't fry it. When you boil it, it's better, okay? And then don't also microwave your food, because microwaving your food So those are some of the things that can cause all these things like the fibroid. These are things that can cause all kinds of chronic problems, okay? When you microwave food, there are radioactive elements or elements that go into the food and it gets into you. They tell you that it's not going to harm you, but over time it hurts. It accumulates, it's by accumulation. So that's why microwaving your food and cooking food at high temperature is not very good. The other thing is to drink the alkaline water, okay? When you drink the alkaline water, and you're also detoxing yourself, because the cells, the dead cells in your body now, as the body has burned the fat, you want to detox it. You will be peeing a lot, but that's good for you, okay? So you need to eat a lot of that, and your skin will also change. You see, I told you that I'm 68 years old. I don't know how I'm 68. Do I look 68 or 70 or what?
No, not at all.
So the thing is that when I'm eating now, the kinds of food that I eat can tell, because you are eating mostly vegetables, you will be as fresh as the vegetables themselves. You see, the animals do that. So your body will look fresh like the animals or like the vegetables. That's why it's good to eat those. So those who want to lose weight, at the end of the 8 days, I lost 15 pounds, okay? But you want to maintain that. So, and another thing is that when you fast and you are eating, you will not feel hungry. So sometimes eating to me now is like, it's a burden to me. I just eat once a day. That's good for me. Even if I want to eat at all, I'm eating just a little portion, okay? So, and then also eating late at night is not good, because you want to make sure that your food is well digested before you go to bed. You want to eat, if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, the last hour you should eat will be by 7 o'clock. Or you should eat by, let us, 6 o'clock. After that, you should not be eating any more food, because you are just causing harm to yourself. So that would be the way to handle any of these problems. Awesome. That you should eat vegetables mostly and drink a lot of alkaline water and sleep as well. And not on, the last one will be to also meditation. Let me tell you that almost 60% of stress, or 60% of doctor's visit, actually it was the Kaiser Permanente people published this data that almost 60% visits are caused by stress. Another study showed that 75%, is estimated that 75% of doctor's visit is caused by stress. So stress plus the type of food we eat is impacting our body. So I can tell you that from stress alone, that stress has a lot of impact on us. Takes a lot of toll on us. So, and what can we do about the stress? The stress, we should be praying. We should be meditating. Our pastor is here. He preaches to us. Do we listen? No, the thing is, where does stress come from? It's from the mind. A lot of things that we don't believe in God, that God has given us everything. All we need to do is just have faith in Him to say, He has given us abundance of stuff. He has given us the brain. He has given us everything. So we need to know how to get it. And we have to have faith that we just need to ask Him, and He will give it to us. He said we should knock, and the doors will be open. We should ask or seek Him. And He says, seek Him first, and then all the other things be added to you. We should be relaxed. A lot of the problems come from us having anger, having jealousy, a lot of hatred, a lot of gossip, backbiting and envy and so on. And that's what causes a lot of the stress. Majority of the problems come from there. I'm telling you that Kaiser Permanente published a data that 60% of the problems come from there. Okay, so and then the other clinical group said that 75% come from stress, and stress can increase blood sugar levels, can raise blood pressure, can suppress the digestion, and alter your immune system response. You see, so these are the things that happen to us. So the chronic stress can eventually lead to a number of health issues, including weight gain, heart disease, memory loss, sleep problems, and depression. So these are the things that can cause us. Okay, so.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All right, so we have quite a few questions left. Okay. We're going to try to get through all these questions. We have, what should a person take for spinal stenosis?
Spinal stenosis?
Yes.
What about?
What should a person take?
What should they take if they have spinal stenosis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, it depends on the cause of the spinal stenosis, but most spinal problems comes all from inflammation. Okay, most of them is caused by inflammation. Like I said, the types of food that we eat, the kinds of things that we do, sometimes lack of exercise, because we are sedentary people. There's no circulation. So the stenosis, like I said, is by inflammation. So it depends on the type of inflammation. Was it a trauma? Was it what was it? An infection? Or what was it? So, but like I also said about the eating vegetables and drinking alkaline water, exercising will assist with this. Okay?
Okay. What foods should a person avoid who has been diagnosed with endocrine carcinoma cancers? And is radiation a good treatment or needs to stop both chemo and radiation?
The type of food to avoid, you say?
Yes, avoid. Endocrine carcinoma cancers.
Well, I would say that the type of food to avoid would be the food that I mentioned that caused the inflammation in the first place.
Okay.
Like the fried foods and meat and all the things. But eating, so for example, if you are undergoing chemotherapy, you should be eating the vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables, the avocado, the apples, the pear, and so on. That would be the kind of food that you should be eating. And more so of organic, because if you are eating the regular vegetables that are sold in the stores and that are not organic, you are going to add more toxin to your body. So I would say avoid those kinds of food. Avoid food that is not organic. You have to have organic foods. That would be the best thing to do. And drink alkaline water. Okay? When you drink the alkaline water and you are eating vegetables that are organic, that will help you with the chemo. And in fact, it will even instead heal the cancer because it will decrease inflammation. And so it will strengthen your immune system. Okay?
And what vitamin supplements should that person take? And then they said, is radiation a good treatment or should they stop both chemo and radiation?
Can I see the question?
Oh, yes,
again?
of course.
I'm sorry.
What are the vitamin supplements?
Okay. Oh, what are the supplement vitamins? Well, in terms of the supplements, you have to consult somebody like myself or any naturopathic person or person who deals with natural remedies so that they can look at specific things because the naturopathic remedies, we put together about 25 to 50 different herbs Because if you go to the store, the regular stores, they don't have these things put together. They're just putting generic stuff there to make money, or synthetic stuff. But if you come to somebody that I will consult with, the people who actually manufacture these things, first of all, I have to look at what is in there and how many of those herbs they are put in there. For example, if I look at a particular supplement, I will see whether they have the different types of herbs that should be in there. For example, like burdock roots, dandelion, and there are other things like guinea hen wheat, and varieties of them. Okay? For example, if I look at somebody who is having infertility problems, whether male or female, I look at what is inside that supplement. And I go into it, what is the specific ingredient that is going to help the person? I look at the pathway, how it works, the pharmacokinetics of it. How is it going to help this person? I first of all look at it to make sure that it's going to be. I don't just recommend any supplement that is not going to be helpful to you. Okay? So I will make sure that the person has that. And then also make the recommendation about vegetables, the water, and sleep, and lack of stress, have good relations with their partners, with their family. Those are things that I'll make recommendations to. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Do you recommend almond milk or oat milk? Since cow milk isn't good for
any
us.
kind of milk, as I said, is not anything processed. I would rather eat the almond or the walnut that is organic, because it's whole fruit,
okay,
or nuts. But the milk is always processed and it has chemicals. You don't want to have that. Okay, that's processed food. And you don't want to have processed food. You want to eat the natural, organic ones.
Yes, sir.
That is healthier.
Thank you, sir. All right, next question. Is there a correlation between kidney stones and a sustained UTI infection even after antibiotics? So is there a correlation between kidney stones and a UTI infection from the past?
There's no correlation that I know of.
Okay.
Because UTI is more of an infection, and the kidney stone is more from for example, the cold drinks that you drink and so on, so the kind of food that you eat. So it has no correlation. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Is it good to put pink Himalayan salt in drinking water?
Is what now?
Pink Himalayan salt. Is it good to put it in water?
I would say that type of salt is good, but I'm not sure how much you have to put in there. Maybe just a teeny bit, but it should be good. You should not be taking extra sodium or salt, or Himalayan salt should be good, but not as much.
Okay.
Maybe a teeny bit should be fine. Okay.
All right, sir.
But the ordinary sodium chloride is bad. But I'm not saying that the Himalaya salts. That's why I said not to take much of it, because it can also cause acidity.
Thank you, sir. How can one know the quantity of fruits to be consumed daily? How much fruit should we consume on a daily basis?
The quantity of food you want to consume daily, I would say that most of the food that we eat, for example, the fruits, they will tell you that either when they say savings, it depends the size, right? It depends the size. It can be anywhere from 5 to 6 servings. The servings could be, is it a cup or whatever size? It depends on the measure or the thing that you measure. Okay, because
so I think they're asking what would you recommend for the average person? how much fruit would you say? 2 apples and 2 bananas?
Oh.
Or how would you?
Well, I would say that a variety will be good. So, for example, if you want to eat 1 banana, then an apple, then an avocado. But if you want to eat a little more, that's fine, because they are natural foods, and especially if it's organic. Because if you are eating just this food that has a lot of chemicals or insecticides and pesticides on it, it's going to cause harm in you, unless you drink a lot of water. Okay.
Okay.
So the number of servings depends on like, see, sometimes people eat just to fill their stomach. Okay. And especially if somebody goes to a party, they want to eat as much as they can consume because it's free. But if you are buying it and having it at your home, you may want to be more conservative. But just eat as much as you can. But I will not say that that you should eat so many. I mean, two bananas should be good. 3, 3 is going to be a little bit more, right? That's a little bit too many. An apple or 2 should be fine, but some people eat more than that. And if you are eating a banana, you're eating an apple, you're eating an avocado, you're eating something else, or eating a salad, that should be good enough for a whole meal, correct?
Yes.
And you may have some other things in it too. You should also add nuts in it. Nuts, yeah, almond, what is it? There are different kinds of nuts that you add there.
Okay.
Pistachio, they're very good. Yeah, I eat those.
Thank you, sir. Okay, somebody asked, is taking water from the water dispenser cold or hot? Is that okay? Like the water dispensers?
Water dispenser?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the water dispensers that come on the fridge.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
home.
Oh, that's very important. Cold water is very bad. I would say do not ever drink cold water. Okay? Cold water is not good for you at all. I know that it feels good to drink cold water,
Yes.
but cold water instead constricts your blood vessels. Okay? For example, if you drink cold water in the stomach, it's going to constrict your blood vessels. The enzymes are going to be shut down. The purpose of drinking warm water is that the warm water will dilate the blood vessels, the enzymes will be activated, and then you have good digestion. But if you are drinking cold water, it's instead going to block them. I know that hot water may not be tasting very good for you, but if you can put some lemon in there, that would be good. Okay?
Okay.
Or at least if the coldest water that I drink is room temperature, not anything refrigerated.
All right. Thank you, sir. What causes gestational diabetes?
Gestational diabetes, well, it can come from a number of things, depending on what the lady is eating, as well as their hormonal changes. The other thing is that the sugar is not being absorbed properly. There's some kind of insulin sensitivities, and so that could be part of it. So because they are also consuming a lot of carbohydrates and other things.
Okay.
But if they are eating the right kinds of food, they should not have it. Because if they're eating vegetables, eating the kinds of food that I just mentioned, but sometimes people, see, for example, back home, our mothers eat a lot of these vegetables and the fufu. This is because it's organic. Okay, they grew them on organic soil. But here, the soil is parched from putting artificial fertilizers and putting all these hormones in it on the crops. So that is not very healthy, and that can be part of the reason for that, because they are using all these chemicals that can cause all of these problems. And as I said, diabetes is an inflammatory disease. So that can cause the inflammation. Many of the things that we put in our system can cause these things. And I said to you that food is medicine. Whatever you put in your stomach or in your body is what is going to respond. If you put in the good things, you get a good response. If you put in the bad things, you get a bad response.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Should we peel the ginger skin before eating it, or can we eat ginger with the skin?
The what?
Ginger. Should we
Oh.
peel the skin?
Well, some people peel it and some people don't. But the thing is that if you were trying to use the ginger, you can actually juice it with the skin. But I don't peel the skin off. When I juice my ginger, I don't peel the skin off. I just juice it like that. I only wash it. Yeah, I don't peel it.
Awesome.
But some people peel it.
Awesome.
I don't think that they're good things out of it. The skin of many of the, like for instance, like the roots and the backs of trees have a lot of ingredients in there that are medicinal. So I would say that it's better to leave it on.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation.
Thank you, sir. What are the advantages of using turmeric supplements? Turmeric supplements.
What is that?
Advantages of using turmeric.
Turmeric. Oh, turmeric is an anti-inflammatory root, just like the ginger. So the ginger is too. So yes, it's a good root.
Okay.
Ginger, turmeric, garlic, all of those things, they have those kinds of anti-inflammatory agents.
Thank you, sir. Any natural remedy for curing high blood pressure?
Natural.
Natural remedies. And I know you've talked a lot about foods and oils, but if there's anything additional you want to add.
Well, even the onions has a lot of the quercetin in there. Garlic, all those things, they are blood flavonoids that can, that can actually reduce your blood pressure. Okay, so but the specific ingredients in there, the only thing is that how much of it you have to eat to affect the blood pressure. That's the problem. Okay, yeah. So that's why having the supplement that may have something like that in there would be very important, because you have to look at the concentration of the ingredient in there. For me just to say, eat onions, eat this, how much of it can you eat? There has to be a concentration, and it must be, that concentration should have been clinically evaluated, okay? So that's why we look at it first and say how much of it is in there, because you don't want to take something that is not going to be effective. Right. And you may say that it's not working, but you have not taken the right concentration, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
How do you know a natural product from a synthetic vitamin?
Well, the only way you know it is that when it is in the supermarket, those are synthetic. But the real ones, first of all, the synthetic ones are very cheap, okay? You know it's cheap and it is worthless. You are just throwing the money away. The real ones are expensive. They are expensive, okay? Let me tell you that there are some of the supplements, like even the multivitamins, there are some that I bought one about a month ago, $88, just for one bottle, yes. And one I bought was $78. So that's that you know that it is produced from the natural, that is organic stuff.
Thank you, sir. To what extent can sleeplessness impact the brain? To what extent can sleeplessness impact the brain?
Okay, sleeplessness, how it impacts on the brain. Is that the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it impacts on the brain in the sense that the cells in their brain are malfunctioning because it has not had enough rest. It is not only that, but probably not having enough oxygenation. In other words, you are under stress. There is not enough rest. The brain has to rest to be recharged. So it has an impact because you have not been able to rest the brain, you have overworked it. It's just like the same thing, like if you overwork your car, it's going to break. So sleeplessness, it means you spend much more time awake. And then being awake means that you are under stress. And being under stress means your body is going to be under stress in terms of acidity. Your body is producing more acid than being balanced. So your hormonal balance is off track. Okay?
Thank you. This person says, I don't take the flu shot. Is there anything wrong with this? I'm guessing I don't take the flu shot. Is there anything wrong with not taking the flu shot?
There is nothing wrong with not taking the flu shot. The problem is that when the flu comes and attacks you, unless your immune system is strong enough to fight it, you are not obligated to take any flu shot. As a matter of fact, if you are eating the right kinds of food, if you are eating all the organic food and the cabbages and the broccoli and the avocados and drinking alkaline water and doing exercise and sleeping well, and then your immune system is strengthened, you can fight it up, because God made us in a way that we didn't need to have any medicine. The food is our medicine. And so we're supposed to be strong enough to defend our against any infection, against bacterial or viral infection. But because our immune system is weak, that's why taking the flu vaccine is important.
Thank you, sir. What causes chronic itching?
Chronic itching?
Yes, sir.
Well, it depends on what is the cause of it in terms of whether it is caused by irritation, okay? Because if something is itching, it must be caused by something that has irritated you. Either you came in contact with something that has irritated the body, the skin. Or it could be, for example, those of us from Africa, filariasis is one of those, okay? Filariasis. And it causes the skin to itch and it thickens, okay? Because of the microfilaria that actually gets into the lymphatic system. And so that really causes itching, okay? So as I said, it depends on what is causing the itching. There are varieties of things that can cause itching. So it depends. We have to find out why. And you will have to find out the cause and then eliminate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Yunmbam. We appreciate your time and all of this great. Can we put our hands together for Dr. Yunmbam to appreciate him? Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome. Wow.
I think we can clap better for Doctor for this wonderful time. I was hoping to see more of us here, but I can see more of us online, and which is also a good thing. Most of the questions came from online, I guess, and some of our people here also asked a lot of questions. We are so much grateful for all the time you have spent with us today. I think we're going to still have a better seminar where we can have a lot of the members in person so that they can ask more questions. And I know you have a lot. I have had the experience of talking to you, and right now you have become my vitamins doctor, and you are keeping me very strong and agile all the time, including my whole family. And I'm so grateful for what you are doing for us and also for the body of Christ. I want to say this to the membership, that we should take time and listen to this doctor. He has a lot to offer, and is going to benefit most of us. Once again, Doctor, thank you for coming out this evening. We are so grateful, and we are going to have another great time with you. God bless you. And to all the viewers out there, God bless you, and we'll see you again. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. But can I say one thing, please? I want to say that my interest here is to help this community, especially Redeemer's Church of Christ. I just want to say that I want to help us, because we are lacking a lot of knowledge. And so we need to learn from each other. I can tell you things, and you can tell me things. My interest is that when the community is healthy, the word of God will grow also. But the other thing which I left out was that meditation is very important. We have to meditate. We need to listen to the word of God. The word of God is sharper than any two-edged sword. The word of God is more than medicine. Okay? The word of God is more than medicine. Prayer is very powerful. I said last time that there were Iranians in prison only listened to recorded prayers. And those people got healed. So we should learn by reading our Bibles, meditating at home, listening to the man of God. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I really appreciate you and your wife to have given me this opportunity. And I will continue to help. I am here. I want to help. Thank you very much. And thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you all. Thank you all for coming.
Yes, Dr. Yunmbam is a member of the church, so he's very much available. He's here to help the church. So let's